Season 1 of The Walking Dead spin-offs is in the books, but which show was better? Was it The Walking Dead Dead City, featuring Maggie and Negan, or was it The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon? Obviously, featuring Daryl Dixon. Well, we put it up for a poll on the channel, and the votes are in. And with 258 people voting, it has been decided that the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon show was the better show, with 66% of the vote compared to Dead City's 34%. So 2/3 of everyone involved believed that Daryl Dixon was the overall better show for season 1, and I think I would actually be tempted to agree. I like the idea of Dead City more. I think I liked the beginning. I think I definitely preferred the premiere of Dead City over Daryl Dixon. However, I think as Dead City went on, it just did not improve, it did not get better, and it probably got worse. And even though the Daryl Dixon show I did find boring, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't interested in any of the new characters. Large portions of the episodes I felt were extremely boring. However, there was standout moments. I felt like there was some really good scenes in the Daryl Dixon show, some really good individual segments, and for me it probably gives it the nod over Dead City, although I do think both shows kind of end it flat. Daryl Dixon just deciding that he's going to stay in France, and then the whole ending of The Walking Dead Dead City with Maggie betraying Negan and her getting her son back, and Negan having to work with the woman in New York. It was like, okay, kind of a bit boring. I think both ended incredibly flat, and it didn't really get me excited for a season 2. I think they should have ended on cliffhangers. I think they definitely could have done a better job in both. I wouldn't rate both shows that good, to be honest. People are saying Daryl Dixon is the best spin-off outside of the original show. I think I would prefer Fear. I can't believe I'm saying that, as I've been a big hater of Fear the Walking Dead, but for me, I do think Fear the Walking Dead Season 1 is probably better than both of these Season 1s. Now, obviously, Fear is in its 8th season, and you can't compare both shows, but if we're taking just the first season alone, I would say I probably preferred Fear over both Dead City and Daryl Dixon. Although I think both of these shows had the possibility, the potential to be better, I just don't think anybody really wants to watch The Walking Dead now when we're already, 12, 15, 20 years into the apocalypse, depending on the timeline and what they're currently going with. It's stale. I think a big part of The Walking Dead and zombie apocalypses is we like to see the beginning, we like to see the outbreak, we like to see how characters are going to develop and how characters are going to grow and how they're going to deal with, their first zombie kill, how they're going to deal with the death of the first loved one. But when you have these shows that are happening 15 years into the apocalypse, it's like everyone's character is already fully developed. There's no way for them to grow, and for me it is a bit lame. It's stale, it's stagnant. I just don't like the idea of these spin-offs. I think if you're going to do a spin-off, it should be from day one. That's just my opinion. But like I said, 66% of you guys preferred Daryl Dixon. Let's check out the comments, and we will go through them. So, Neptune. Well, we'll do it in order of... We'll go news first, why not? Emily's Films said, I feel like I'm the only one who didn't care for the Daryl show. He was literally the only tolerable character. I kind of agree with that. Outside of Daryl Dixon, there was no characters that I was fond of. There was no characters that I took to. There was never one character in the show that I felt, if they die, I'm going to be upset, or I don't want to lose this character. I never felt that once during the entire Daryl Dixon show. I just did not care about any of the characters and whether they lived or died. And I'd say the only character that I maybe felt a little bit bad for was Quinn, because I feel he got abandoned at the beginning by Isabella, and then he obviously loved her and wanted her back, and I think he kind of went through underhanded tactics to get that by trading his son, essentially. And she was almost going to kill him, which didn't seem fair, because it's not like he murdered anyone, he didn't kill anyone. He just wanted to be with Isabella, and he wasn't really forcing her, so to speak. It's not like he was raping her or anything like that. I don't think he done anything that was worthy of being killed yet. She, for a quick moment, was willing to kill him, and then in the end, he sacrifices himself to try and give Daryl a chance to get Isabella and Laron out of there, but it never really gets brought up. I mean, yeah, Daryl Dixon mentions it, but he doesn't really get any thanks for it or praise. He kind of just dies with Isabella hating him and his son not knowing him. So I felt like Quinn kind of got a bad deal there, but yeah, no, I mean, overall, I mean, none of the characters that Daryl Dixon meets up with and that is on Daryl Dixon's side, like, I can't even remember their names. I think that pretty much sums up how uneventful and how, like, non-interesting and, like, non-important the characters were, that it's hard to actually remember names. So, yeah, let's look at Neptune now. Daryl Dixon's show was the best The Walking Dead has been in years. Not your typical multi-episode plotline where it takes 3 episodes just to get somewhere. I actually felt engaged and interested while watching. The souped-up zombies were fucking terrifying, and it actually has a fear to it. I somewhat agree that I said in the reply that I felt like the Daryl Dixon show had moments. I think it had good moments. There was moments throughout the show where I thought, wow, that's a really good scene, or I really liked that. I liked the idea. But for me, overall, as the entire package, as a whole package, I did sit through the majority of the episodes bored. I sat through a lot of the episodes really bored, not paying attention, not interested. And like I said, I think they've done a lot of good things. I mean, I think the flashback with Daryl Dixon getting off the boat was good, and I liked him collecting the gasoline. I think the zombie pit fight when him and Quinn team up to take on the walkers, the super amped up walkers, I enjoyed that. I mean, there was parts of the show that I thought were pretty good, but overall, as an entire season, the majority of it did bore me. I can't sit here and say that I thought it was fun and exciting, the entire thing, because it wasn't. You know, a lot of it was boring. YH4506 said, haven't watched Daryl's yet, but Dead City was alright. I mean, Dead City was alright, but that's kind of the problem. I mean, it started off alright, and it just didn't get better. You know, Dead City, it started off okay, and I thought after the premiere of Dead City, I thought there was potential, because I would say Dead City premiere was probably the best episode of Walking Dead we've seen in a long time. However, it just didn't get better after that. It got worse, and again, just kind of similar to the Daryl Dixon show, there wasn't that many interesting characters. There was nobody really that I wanted, and don't get me wrong, seeing Simon, I thought the Simon flashback was really interesting, and the Croat was an okay villain, but outside of those, nothing really. Pearly just didn't really do it for me. None of the supporting characters done it for me. Tommaso and the other chick, I forget her name. They just weren't interesting. And King Matt 8524 said Daryl Dixon is the overall better show. It gives me season 1 The Walking Dead vibes. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I think Daryl Dixon had better moments, but I actually think Dead City was probably overall the better show. That's my opinion. You guys are entitled to think differently, but I don't agree with the whole season 1 Walking Dead vibes. For me, I'd say the first 3 seasons, obviously 3 is a lot different from 1 and 2. I think 1 and 2 are the best 2 seasons of The Walking Dead, but I do like 3 as well. I think 3's action-packed, and it might not be as good from a writing standpoint, but it's action-packed, and at least you're not bored with season 3. There's a shitload of stuff going on in season 3, but I think quality-wise, I don't think The Walking Dead will ever get near the original season, and obviously season 2, which was like a Shane special. Shane completely owned season 2. He delivered that season. So for me, that is hands down the best 2 seasons of The Walking Dead. But if you guys disagree, then let us know down in the comments. What would I say overall? What show did I think was better? Possibly the Daryl Dixon show, but I think I prefer, if it makes any sense, I think I preferred to watch the Dead City show, but the Daryl Dixon show might have been a little bit better in terms of what happened, if that makes sense. I don't know. Look, guys, I don't think either show was great, and hopefully season 2 for both Daryl Dixon and Dead City get better. That's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.